Mo's. I'm Mysticraven. Alright, so I'm going to finish out my new year with farming. Because, you know, everybody needs to farm, right? I'm trying to finish a couple builds on this platform, and I need transmutations. And then I need to finish up that one PvP build on my PC. And so we'll grab the dailies. Let's see what we get. I'm on the boring Templar. Now, I do want to make this statement for players new or coming into Elder Scrolls. Don't. Oh, Fang Lair.
Last time, army of cut. Listen.
I don't know if I want to pug that though. Every time I pug that on this platform, it's a nightmare. But you know, it's fine. Maybe I don't know if anybody really wants to. I might get with a guild, but I'm not too worried about it. I don't think there's anything in there I need. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get there. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay, make sure I want to turn that down so I don't blast myself when I'm checking out comments. Yo, Jack, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, brother. I've been doing good. How are you? How's everything over in Australia, man? I hope good. I hope good, brother. So, the biggest thing, like, in Elder Scrolls for players that's coming in, besides performance, I think there's a lot to take in because there's a lot. But it's not too late to get involved in Elder Scrolls. One of the best things I like about Elder Scrolls versus most MMOs, is you can come in and you can start fresh. Crafted sets, I'm going to do a walkthrough how to get started in roles as new players. I think that's going to be kind of really cool. I'm going to do a tank guide because I've been asked to do that. So I really do want to, get into tank guides. Oh boy, come on. It's bugged is why. You pass the lead, that's how you fix it. It's a bug. It's a bug. That's another problem.
Light it up!
Well, it's not so hard getting into the game. I think a lot of times players are a little reluctant to try to get into something, right? Because they're like, that game's been out for a while now. So they just feel like it's too little too late. And you can get into it, and there's a lot of things you can do. And I think I want to do guides like that, because that's what I'm kind of into. Trying to help average players. And I think after the tank guide, I got a couple of things to do this weekend and early next week. I kind of have my time obligated elsewhere. But after that, I really want to start off the new year with some guides, finish up with the tank guide, start the tank guide, and then I want to get into
put you up to this?
some other
Still
stuff.
out there, isn't it? Kill these fools.
The healing guide, a lot of people liked it, so I really do want to thank people for that. You know, that really does. It warms my heart that, you know, people liked it. And for me, mainly a lot of my end games PvP. I was just going over this with somebody who's a friend, a viewer, a co-player that I played with, and a lot of times. And I said, you know, originally, I didn't want to necessarily be a content creator, you know what I'm saying? And we got a new player here. He's just kind of, you know, trying to find his way. So that happens. Volleyball, ready to solo or normal. Vollenfeld. Yep, Vollenfeld. Yup, it's Vollenfeld. So, I really hope this new player just is able to get in here. I'm still in the mead for 15 minutes, so I think we'll get that bonus XP. I think we'll get it done in time. He'll get here. I have nothing to say. I hope. We gotta go check him out. I'm gonna go help him. This poor guy.
Set it ablaze!
Oh, we got aggro, dude. You might as well kill it. At least we got him. That's all that matters. Trying to get to my teammates. I don't think I really need anything in here, so I'm not too overly worried about it. Keep going, dude. I know I'm a toxic player, right? Sorry, autocorrect is, you know, yeah, it happens, man. I get you. I feel you. I'm usually looting this stuff for keys and stuff too. I mean, lockpicks. Very, very, very big importance here. Oh, made it for the loot. Give me the loot. Well, I guess not. Looky. Max. There's a couple bugs. Nah. I'm a toxic player. I think a lot of people... I can be toxic. I was an elitist at one time. And I admit that. You know, I don't hide behind what I used to be like, you know, at all. You know what I'm saying? That's not, you know... I think everybody can be toxic. And for me to say, oh, I'm not toxic, well, that would be incorrect. You know, I think everybody can, it's like anything in life, you know. Everybody can get, you know, you know, mad, sad, you know, a little, you know. I think toxic behavior is ingrained in our society. You know, but the one of the things to for anything is to acknowledge it, not to say, oh yeah, no, I'm not toxic. Everybody can be toxic. You really want to keep these hots down. That's how you get through it. Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool. It's why solo most undaunted stuff. I know you were, yeah, and I was. I'm not gonna lie about that, you know. But I got tired. It got tiring in other games, especially you look back and you ask yourself that, you revisit what you've done in any capacity, and then you ask yourself, was it worth it? A lot of times, no. I had this nice conversation though with one of the endgame players who was, you know, somebody, really, and I think they still are. But the biggest thing about it is we had a nice conversation, and I'm like, you know, I think a lot of times people forget what I contributed to the game. You know, what I've done for the game and the community coming in. I think a lot of people forget about that. You know. And some of the standards that we have today is, you know, some of those contributions. You know, I mean, we didn't have all those numbers. We didn't have all those things back in the day. And I think other people have contributed too, other content creators. So I'm not just saying it was me alone. I'm saying collectively, despite differences, you know, we've accomplished many things as a community for the Elder Scrolls title. The problem of it is giving recognition for that, and you know, I feel like that within itself, you know, I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, well, the biggest goal is trying to improve the population of the game, the health of the game, and I couldn't figure this out. Oh, hold on. Fuck. It's trying to get, you know, more players involved in Elder Scrolls and get Elder Scrolls to a place where, you know, people can enjoy it. Oh. Nice. Clerk drops the bubble. Nice. I don't know if the person had a whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, the biggest thing about it was, like, when I first started, I just wanted to help people with fundamentals, understand, and I had to go through, so much to figure out so much. And I started on this platform. My PC was down. And so if I was going to give out any information, I had to figure it out. You know, the conversion ratios and things like that. And, you know, after I did it, I felt confident providing the information to people. And that's, you know, that's what got me my recognition. But you know, did it get kind of ugly to a degree? Yeah, it did. I mean, but that's the thing, because you're going against what most people, you know, you're contradicting most people's the popular belief, right? And anytime you do that, you're a target, right? And it's not that I want my ideology to be, you know, I don't want my ideology or, you know, to be the law of Elder Scrolls. This game's open-ended. You can do a lot of things, but we have to understand what you gain and what you lose. You know, when you're trying to do something in this game, you know, and that's relative. You know, I remember, like I said, tanks didn't understand back in the day their mitigation, how their shield mitigation worked. They didn't understand that. I knew that because I main tanks and other MMOs. So I was aware that health scaled shields and tanking. I knew that. That's always gone with every game you play. You know what I'm saying? So those things typically don't change. So I felt comfortable addressing that. But of course, I got backlash because it was too much health. I'm at Hop. Hop was always rolling over 40, 50k health, and you know, I give it up to the man because I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how you sustain so well. You know, I knew he heavy attacked, but his timing was impeccable, to say the least. And then, you know, I just felt like I just wanted to help players understand. You know, like every class, you're not going to get the same effect putting them all in the same set. You're going to have to, even though you can, you're going to get different scaling. Am I going to scale max stat? Am I going to drive my damage from scaling max stat, or am I going to drive my damage from scaling spell or weapon damage? Most people would think that spell and weapon damage is you know, the preferred method. It's the preferred method, but it's not the only method. The problem we have now, though, is if we're going to use monster sets, and if we are, we're kind of locked in that, right? I never get the daily, sure, so I'm just going to do random. We're locked into this, you know, unfortunate circumstance that proc sets now, or monster sets now scale spell and weapon. So there's a disadvantage for scaling. You're penalized now for scaling max stat, and that kind of is self-defeating. And I hope that's addressed within the next year, because that, you know, that gives more, you know, build options, you know, and that's important. You know, I want to see, like I said, I want to see the community grow, not me. You know, I want to see new players. I want to see this game succeed. And like I said, I feel like there's a lot of content creators that offer something for everybody. So, and I promote content creators, and I think most people know that. So I like when people say I'm toxic, yet you know, if I see something and whatever, I'm very objective. So, I mean, but once again, can I be toxic? Absolutely. And I'm not going to deny that or denounce, you know, anything or whatever. I'm just stating, you know, hey, man, I'm trying to provide, you know, a service to those who want to do something, you know, different.
Have you come to meddle as well? Could always use more corpses. Tormented souls of the dead arise and kill these interlopers.
Oh, I forgot to put my XP on the screen. Get on the next one.
Tormented souls of the dead arise and kill these interlopers.
We don't need to do that, boss. Please do not do this, boss. Oh, man.
Get them, my pretty. First those nobles, and now you cretins. You don't belong here. Heal me. Come to me, my minions.
Oh my. I mean, like I said, when I started, a lot of misconceptions. People did not think that they were totally believed DK was the only tank, Templar was the only healer.
You'll never get past us.
That's what they believed. And I get it. I mean, I think it's funny because in that video that Neff calls me out, he's like, oh, because of the golden age of Skyrim or something. But the premise of Elder Scrolls has always stayed the same. You know, no matter what title you go to. Every game played differently. But the whole premise of what an Elder Scrolls title has always been the same. You build your character. That's what makes Elder Scrolls Elder Scrolls. That doesn't change. You know? That's the kick in the teeth. You know, and if people are going to talk about Elder Scrolls, I mean, name me an Elder Scrolls title that you were locked in without being able to make adjustments to your stats, or do or craft, or do something unique. To everybody's gameplay was different and experiences were different, and that's what made the replayability of those titles really appealing. Even though you knew how the game turned out, even if you played through the storyline, experiencing it on a different character and a different build, that's what was appealing for Elder Scroll titles. And so that's never changed.
Right, lad. Light it!
So, yeah, every Elder Scrolls title is different, but the premise is still the same. It'll be that way for every Elder Scrolls title. That's part of what Elder Scrolls, whether it's ESO or any title, that's the premise. Miss one?
Alright, so we can have fuck race. Torch it! You don't belong down here.
eventual way rest.
That up. Oh well.
Is your children responsible
Someone
for
had,
this madness?
Eileen, no!
Elaine, no.
My poor daughter. Why did you do this?
Alright. Like my ideology. I think that's funny. Because, you know, I played it. It wasn't about what I said. I played it, you know. I played it. I showed it. I still remember when people were trying to say run under 20k health, and they were running 16, and they were dying. Right? We remember those days. And I was like, no, you want to be around 20 because every mechanic is sitting between 18 to 20 on boss fights. So you don't want to get one-shotted, you know. It's better to have that cushion, you know, for a little survivability. Because if your shield's down or, you know, something happens, you're dead. Now that's pretty much that's a staple. That's a staple, you know, in this game. You know. You know. I mean, can you still run under? Yeah. But a lot of people stand by that. You know. And I feel like, you know, I have contributed quite a bit to this game. And I'd like to think for more positives than negatives, but, you know, since I've been back, a lot of people got butthurt about it. A lot of people were like, oh, and, you know, I've been a target since. You know, but I've always been a target, so it's never bothered me. Being a target doesn't bother me. The being hated and despised, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't. You know, none of that stuff, all of that stuff means very little to nothing to me. So I just feel like majority of the time, if you're gonna, hold on, majority of the time, if you're going to be hated, at least show it. And, you know, that's what I did back in the day. I just provided builds that would get people through content at any capacity. You know, whatever capacity that they were pushing at. I never claimed my builds were better than people's. I never said best in slot. I never ragged on anybody's builds. I promoted other content creators. And I feel like at the end of the day, those were positives. So when people say that, oh, you know, Mystic's toxic, yeah, I can always be toxic. Anybody can be toxic, but nobody wants to take a look at the good that you bring. Nobody wants to take a look or accept that. Nobody wants to acknowledge the positives that you bring. And Rich even said that everybody wants to dwell on the negatives. People like drama. That's true. It's true. So, you know, and like me and this well, it wasn't I don't know if she's a content creator, but we had a really good conversation, very open conversation. I said, you know, who corrected people? Who provided you guys with the penetration before it was, you know, understood? Who went there? I did. Who told you guys not to stack this or do that or run sharpen on mag tunes when you guys were doing it? She's like, well, I never did it, but other people did it. And I'm like, yeah, they did. They did do it. They did. And we can acknowledge that. But that's what I was battling against the entire time. Oh, I don't want. Yeah, that's the stuff that I had to go through, and I feel like at the end of the day, you know, I was always met with resentment, but when we take a look at, you know, what I've done, you know, did I help the community? Did I contribute something positive to the community? Yeah, I did. Was it standing? Did it last? Yeah, it did. So at the, you know, if that's a negative, well, whatever then. You know, if that's negative, well, fuck it. You know, those are negative aspects of my contribution to this game. So be it. You know, if those are negatives. But I like to think, you know, I did something, you know, productive, you know. Like I said, you know, my intentions wasn't to ever claim anything. It was to help the average player. And, you know, and they got through it, and I got thanked a lot for it, and I have no regrets about any of that. You know, I came back and people, you know, was ignoring, you know, the fact that, you know, there were certain things that got nerfed down to the ground, and you had people running still 5 in pen, and I was like, why? And putting reinforced on small pieces when they were overlooking Nirnholm, and you know what I'm saying? And I was like, why are you guys doing that? That makes no sense. None of that makes sense. So once again, and then I called out Stam. I said Stam's going to deal more damage after this update. And I guess I was wrong, right? No. So I mean, is that toxic? Calling something out ahead of time, right? Is that toxic to say what's going to happen or how the stat adjustment's going to benefit, you know, configurations across the board? Is that negative? You know, I come across as an asshole because I am an asshole. But like I said, I tell people, I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to be in denial, but at the end, you're going to make the adaptation. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Anyhow. But, yeah. I mean, like I said, if people are going to hate me, they're going to hate me. Like the armory system. I love the armory system. I felt like that's a positive for the game. And given the fact that it does once again reintegrate the capability of what you're capable of doing in Elder Scrolls. Yeah, you can play any class in any role at any capacity. You know? Did your invitation arrive? I think the devs even said any class and any role can complete any content. Now those aren't my words. I think those were the devs at one time. I could be mistaken, but I think that was something they said at one point. So who's toxic? If everybody's saying that it has to be this way, then what is that? Is that toxic? Is there no? Can you you know, put a same build configuration together? Can you do that and get the same results? And get the same buffs and debuffs and things like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, you know, It's important to understand it. Why am I always getting DLCs? This one's not so bad on normal. Bet this one can be a little whatever.
Yes, this is unfortunate.
Celine might have
I
been
will
less
do what I
difficult
can.
if you hadn't
But
chosen to
Celine,
make her the subject.
Oh shit. I forgot the XP shit again. Fuck. So bad at that. Like Templar DPS. If you have a Templar DPS, do you need a Templar healer? No. Nope. That's my point. Can people, are people gonna argue that still? Is that still the... I love that because someone's like, oh, what trials and stuff have you completed? Trials, I do trials. I did the original, there's my Ophidian Overlord title. I did the original Craglorn trials on this healer. Okay? Like, I like it when people ask me these things and it's like, look, and then I had to show my Vet AS trophy on PC and some other stuff. It's like, oh, you can't do this. And no matter what I do, no matter what, it's never going to be good enough. And that's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. That is the facts. But the fact of it is, we also pug vets. You know, there are people who pug vets and they get through it, you know. It's not as smooth for sure, and sometimes, a lot of times, it's a wash. But a lot of people pug them. That's why we go to Craglorn. Once people figure out the mechanics, everybody eventually will pug it one time or another. So I keep wondering if people are going to say that like, I honestly don't mind most people doing playing how they ever want, as long as they can play the role effectively. If they can taunt, if they can hold a block, if they can, you know, understand those principles, I don't care what you do. A lot of people are like, well, you kick, you know, like hybrid tanks and stuff. If I see a lightning staff on a tank that, you know, whatever, I'm going to question it. Absolutely, because how are they going to block? How? It's not about that. If they don't have a shield and they don't have an ice staff, how are they blocking mechanics? You see what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's another question. Why is everything on the same accessible level? Like, why not have, like, normal version for normal and to make perfected version for vets? Incentivize it. That's a way to make content replayable, you know, and separate the whatever players, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I personally, whatever, I think a lot of people can have fun, a lot of people can come into the game, and they can get enjoyment however they want to, whatever they want to do. I'm actually thinking about using a Zen on a healer build.
doing?
To be chosen. Thanks for freeing me. I need to wash
A
off.
little bit of lagging, see. I think a lot of players come here are intimidated or pushed away. Sometimes I worry, like, you know, am I one of those players that push other players away too? But then I have to question, is there, when they come into this game, where are they getting their information at too? Because when I see fake tanks at like 300, you know, I know they're getting that somewhere. My question is, who's telling them to do that? Where are they learning these bad behaviors? Right? Those are the content creators I'd like to find and sniff that shit out. You know? I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't care. If they want to, like, a 20-something thousand health tank, as long as it has a fucking way of blocking and taunting, I don't give a fuck what they roll. You can run a faux pas build. You can. It doesn't have to be anyway. They can run different setup combos. However, I'm not going to ask them what sets they're running. You know, that I'm not that toxic. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't give a fuck what set you roll with. I don't even care. Depending on the content, it really means little to nothing to me. The question of it is, can you play the role? That's the only question. You know what I'm saying? That's the question. That's it. I don't care. And I think most people would agree with that. Most people would agree with that premise. And I think the armory system lends itself to that.
Writhing mass is the source of the cancer in this cavern. It must be purged.
Leave it. Its proximity is already beginning to taint.
Destroying it weakens Marcelov's hold.
We're destroying it. Help Celine, however
That
you
seed
can.
will weaken the mass.
It's done.
Celine,
As I said, we should be conserving.
Speaking of Zen, yeah, I ended up getting the Flame Staff Sanctuary one run, like 3 days ago. And I'm like, I already have this. I'm supposed to be able up for the lightning or something else. How did I get the same fucking staff? I was so peeved. I was like, the new RNG system is supposed to prevent this type of shit. Because I still need that staff on this platform. Well, not really, because I'll be switching the build out anyway. so I still need to get my Olarime lightning staff. Or at least this one.
Azures everything. Can't thank you enough. That was vile. Feel the call of Marsala. Give that dragon a sock in the jaw on my behalf, yeah?
Everybody running Kenras. Wonder if it's still best in slot.
I feared you lost interest.
I am no one's pet.
No.
That's another thing. Something's best in slot. Why is it changing so
You'll
frequently in
pay
this
dearly
game?
for all of this, dragon.
Given the fact that we don't level up anymore.
No.
Every other
protect Celine.
linear game, best in slots are
Everything we have.
contributed by level and gear score, right? Why doesn't it rule apply here? Kind of food for thought.
You won't escape.
Nice.
I'll hunt you to the ends of the world.
I think we really hurt him. This crazy plan might actually work.
Your confidence is heartening. We've driven Marsalok back to his lair, but the battle will not be finished until the dragon is dead. Or in the air.
He's up there, by that spire.
Ugh, the blight's everywhere. We have to hurry. Help Celine cleanse a path through.
Use this flip to root out the blight from your body. Quickly!
Not me. Ah, shit.
Use the ward. Get that corruption out of you.
I got it. Got it.
There! It's within you! Get to my ward!
The seeds of paradise are here. Thanks for finding me.
It's rotten tiger! Here!
Wow.
Marsalok offers you life.
The blight has you! Cleanse it quickly!
My gratitude for releasing me from that monster.
Oh shit.
Found the seed! Perch it here!
I know.
Take Marsalok within your heart.
Why isn't it coming up? Oh shit balls. It's gonna form. It's gonna form. It didn't come up.
Oh, thank you, love. That was...
I'm coming. I had to cleanse it.
Enough running, coward!
Oh yes.
Porcelain.
Welcome to my web, Spider Witch. I'll make
Spider
you
Witch.
quite at home.
Alright.
He's much
Yo, what's up?
stronger here.
Let me check this out.
He's trying to
Dirty.
wrest
I'm just
control,
working
Celine.
on...
Hurry! Finish
How's it
this
going? It's
before
going good,
Marsalok
man. I'm just
drops
farming up
anyone else.
transmutations. Probably about to end it and try to get a couple pieces
Willingly, I'll just
set up.
these for you.
Yeah, working two platforms kind of sucks, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jesus. I don't know what I signed up for.
So done! It's taking root within you now.
Use my ward!
doing this all over again, man.
Even you, Corindon.
Did I not agree
I'm
to
reforming,
lend you
literally
Sleep's
gonna be
aid?
reforming
I expect
everything.
payment from your king promptly.
You don't speak for me, Oathbreaker.
I did the same yesterday.
Your promises aren't worth
Got
the air
my,
you waste speaking them. Hey, hey!
Just a little
Let's
break.
not sour our victory.
And Sax heal sets reconstructed. Oh, did you? That's cool. I'm not chasing after Sax. I mean, I think Sax is really good. I think Sax is good on the Necro. I think Sax, especially like Necro healer, like Jory and stuff. I can see that. I see the point of that. You know, but like I have my off tanks use different setups. So main tank, you know, we know that the staple's yokel. You know, the question becomes powerful assault depending on the content. Can you get a powerful assault buff on people?
Run, Sully. Run.
That depends, right? Everything depends.
She's made you her puppet.
Big configurations, always whatever, depending. You know,
Archmage wants a word with you.
I don't know if I want, like, I'm gonna make a couple of tanks. I don't know if I want to whatever. I mean, like, for example, I mean, like, even if you use, let's hypothetically say you use Necro tank as a secondary tank, whether, you know, like, hypothetically, you know, would you be better with Sax on that? I would think so, right? I don't like giving up a Warhorn in any situation due to the scale and the loss of DPS. I mean, if somebody, you know, I think a Warhorn is still a very, 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 very powerful ulti in a lot of configurations. But it's like lightning staff. Like, I can use lightning staff. I use lightning staff even if, let's say, I use my Mage Blade healer. Let's say I could put a Flame Staff on him, but I don't, because even if I use my closer, my Lotus Fan, to apply the minor vulnerability debuff on single target or multiple targets, I'll lose on the Sap Essence effect. It scales higher on lightning, but at the same time, because like Wardens give minor toughness and they already have minor vulnerability in their toolkit, you can get away with either using a frost, a flame, you know what I'm saying, staff. Way, you know, and same thing with tanks. That's what I say. You know, I think a lot of configurations benefit different based on their toolkit. You know, so, and I think Sax lends itself to that, especially if you're going to use Colossus. You know, so I see the point of it. I do. I acknowledge it. I just don't necessarily think you can, you know, like, I could see it better, like, using Sax better on, like, Necro. I agree with it. Like, I totally acknowledge that. Like, that setup is killer. It's killer. It's so fucking killer to set that up with that ulti. But everything else, I feel like it's waste. Because Sork tanks, I can generate ultimate faster than using Sax. Sax heal on a Sork tank and a Nightblade tank, not as effective. You know, not as effective. But, you know. So, and then, like, you know, the same thing, I had somebody on Discord got a hold of me. I don't know how they found me on Discord. But they found me on Discord, and because my Discord's a very small circle. And I literally, they asked me about Basses and why I'm not wanting it. Well, first off, I can get through any of the content I do without it. Any of the content. Well, currently, it is the newest trial and whatever. I mean, what content am I going to complete that I haven't already completed on Vet? at any capacity that I'm required to have boss A's. Second, it needs to be, I need to be below to maximize its damage output. I have to be 30% resources or lower to get a 2% gain, roughly. And depending on composition and people I'm with, it could be good, it could be great, or it could be, oh my god, I'm fucked. And I don't like that. I don't like those type of gimmicky setups. You know, like, to me, Sax is a bait set. Boss A is a bait set. When I saw it, I was pretty irate with Zoss's, once again, gimmick tactics. They always come out with fucking gimmick tactics. Like, well, guess what? We're gonna reward you, but we're gonna penalize you at the same time. It's like, what the fuck? Why? Why? Hold on. I went side screen and I can't see. Yoko will be next sec. I reconstruct. No, Yoko's badass. Happy New Year there, fuck cow. What's up? Happy New Year, brother. Yoko is stamped, like is basically a spell power cure. It's a stamp set. You know, I don't see a lot of main tanks getting around it. The question of it is how are you going to, and there's ways of combining combos, and I think that's what's awesome about this game. Like, there's that new set. So let me tell you, Dirty. Let me give you the inside scoop, because there's not a lot of people watching the stream. That new set. Let me give you guys something that's been overlooked, and whatever. Look at this. Look at all this shit I've got to farm. Oh my fucking god! Why? I'm just gonna cry. I'm going to cry. Where is it? Okay, so check this out. So check this out. This set. Okay, so you can get major debuffs with this setup, right? With this new set. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's in the Deadlands. But look. It's a what? I want to say what? Is it a medium? It's a heavy. So this is a tank set. Now look, look at what this. I thought it was a tank set. When you deal direct damage, you apply 1 of 5 random major debuffs to enemies within 8 meters of you for 18 seconds. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds. And what's one of the debuffs? Major vulnerability. And then you get major breach. Right? So it debuffs enemies, plural. This isn't being utilized to its full effect. It's not. This is literally, you can run this in a raid composition, a trial composition, and keep major vulnerability. There's a trick. I'm not going to give out the trick, but I'm going to tell you this. You can keep major vulnerability up 100%. In trial composition. Now, if I don't know what I'm talking about, let them figure it out. But it's not my job. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, I don't know. Just saying. It's an AoE debuff tank set, yep. And that's the thing. It's so good. It's not meta, though. Right. It's not meta. And that's why I'm saying they overlooked it. Because there's a trick. There's a trick to keep 100% major vulnerability uptime. There's a way to do it. I don't need to tell them. I don't know what I'm talking about. I give out misinformation, remember? So I'm not going to give this one out. I'm not even going to come out with the build for it. They've gotten me to a point. They have me to a point that I don't want to help the community anymore in this regards. Remember when I introduced the powerful assault on the Warden Healer, and I specifically said it stacks with spell power cure. Of course, they put it on a tank, which was pretty. Yeah, that was a pretty good idea. But I don't want to help the community. The community, the content creators, Neff and all of them got me to a point. I don't want to help the community. I don't. And I'm not. But I want to share that. Have thought. I never thought of it that way. I have to mess with it. If you figure it out, you'll have an advantage. If you figure it out, you'll have an advantage. Now, it's not about, let me reintegrate this. It's not about the set duration. You think about it in this way. Let me give you a drop of a hint. It lasts for 18 seconds. So what would you do with this set? And that's how I'm going to say it. It was overlooked. This set was overlooked. And you know, I don't want to help the community. I don't. they're the meta. They're the gods. They're the gods, remember? I don't want to help the community anymore, because anytime I offer any advice or say anything, oh, we thought of it, we talked about it first. Yet I had the timestamps, and then people all make fun of me, as Neff would say. Oh, people make fun of Mystic. Yet you guys adapt to what I tell you. Now I'm just like, I'm not giving you, there's certain builds I'll run and I'm never going to tell people. And if I get recruited, and I'll keep that on the grid. I don't want to help the community. You know, until people start sticking up for me and what I've contributed to these bullies and these bitches, I don't want to help them. I'm like, you know what, I ain't done. I'm done. There's been only like so many people of you guys that actually stepped up for me, and I appreciate it. But you know, until people give me that respect, I don't owe anybody anything. I've already paid my dues. And we are the peons. I have it with Daedric Trickery and Thunderbug. Yeah, Daedric Trickery is a really good combo with that. But it's not about. It's about a composition. That's all. There's the last hint. But yeah, no, for real. And they overlooked it. But you can literally, you can already keep Warhorn, that buff up 100% of the time. I've shown that with the Sork. And that's not my fault if they don't use that. If you don't want to use the Sork tank as a secondary off tank, that's your loss. But with the Sork tank, you can keep 100% uptime with Major Warhorn, with aggressive Warhorn. Now, there's another way. You can keep Major Vulnerability up 100% of the time. So, but you got to use that set. That's the kicker. But there's ways to do it. So, Happy New Year's, guys. It's midnight. There it is. From East Coast. Happy New Year's. We rang it in. We got it done. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Thank you, Dirty. Play with it. You might figure. I think you guys, but you'll need your team to do it. And I think once you figure it out, you guys are going to be happy. You know, just don't give it out. Whatever. you know, don't tell people I said anything. Like I said, the community for the most part's got me to the point where I don't give a fuck. And if they ever say anything, well, I got the timestamp here. It's 9 p.m. Well, happy early New Year's. So, yeah, there you guys go. We do it. But once again, what do I know? Nothing. Nothing. As always, I'm Mysticraven. This is Mystics MMOs. Let's bring in 2022 pretty good, okay? Alright. Have a nice day.